7 seconds. All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, when we give all honor, glory, and praises to do, it's Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Also, want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstones, teaching the truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, which you so-called Negroes, Latino, Hispanics, Native American Indians, you know, the true Israelites that's coming out, the elect nation, which is Israel, okay, the nation that the Lord is only dealing with. His brother Yuanathon from GMS Detroit, and you know, just putting the fire on me, want to do some work, so I was meditating, man. So this lesson, not necessarily what I want to entitle it, but you know, in this society, and who runs the society, you know, us being the children of Israel and following the vibrations of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we're going to fail until the Most High returns. Okay? Just know we can't keep the law, statutes, commandments, you know, perfectly, and certain things in this society they want us to copy, especially the vibrations of America. Okay, like what's to say in Revelations, the 17th chapter, the ones who drunk on the fornications of the whore. All right, and again, so you got a certain place that mimics the vibration that the world and these other countries adapt and copy, which is America. And then you have the people who really, truly run, you know, this place, which are, you know, I'm just going to say the elites. All right. So let me just get one real quick, two real quick. Psalms 83. Actually, no, let's get Job 9:24. It reads, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof, if not where, and who is he? And we all know that person is the nation of Edom, and primarily Amalek, the high chief priest of Edom, you know, Amalek. So like when you think of like the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Kennedy, so on and so forth, the ones that hide behind, you know, things, because they're not really being broadcasted, but the Lord is revealing who these people are. They're the ones who really push this wicked vibration out. Okay? Like, when you go to school, what do they make you do? You, every morning they make you say the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, we're not signing, when you come into this truth, you know, this place is being marked for destruction. Okay? But they got you pledging your allegiance to this society, to this country, which is off. We only make promises, pledges, oaths, vows to the best of our ability to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, not to this wicked place, because you can see the vibration that it pulls off. And when you have a righteous mind and not a person that's going along just to get along, you gonna get you get bugged out for the things that you see. All right. Ezekiel 9:24. I'm sorry, Ezekiel 4:9. Slakia 9:4. Why I say Slakia 9 and verse 4. And it says, and the Lord saith unto him, go in the midst of this, through the midst of the Jerusalem. Slakia, let me read that over. And the Lord said unto him go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And we are those men now. We look at the vibrations of the spiritual Babylon, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. You first off, like I said, we are subject to payment. Baruch 3 and 8. You know, you see the alphabet community. You know, brother from the camp said he went to Ferndale, and it's been a minute since I've been out there, but the things that he was describing to me that he saw, it will bug you out, because, you know, when you look at LGBTQ, you know it's a sexualized vibration, okay? And it's also in wickedness, you know. You're going to get some more scriptures in wickedness. And the thing is, what he also told me is that in the midst thereof, there was children. All right? That's another thing that will bug you out in this society, man. Man, you want to get out of here. So we were those men that sigh and cry, because, you know, we ain't with it. We ain't for it. We're against it. We don't want it. Okay? So with that being said, let's get Leviticus. Because when you look at the alphabet community, to a degree and a high degree, it tells you about unrighteous sexual immorality. All right. So I'm just gonna grab this one, because I don't want to stand on that subject too long. All right. So this is Leviticus 18 and 22. It says, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination." So, you know, you're not supposed to be a man laying with another man, or a woman laying with another woman, so on and so forth. Even though the LGBTQ goes into it deeper, but you get the point of what I'm getting at. All right. So these are the things that, you know, you are against, like we're against, but again, we can't win. You know, you can see some of these celebrities, they'll be talking about it, and what happens? They get sued, you know, boycotted for wickedness sake. And I believe that the LGBTQ community got reparations, and that's off in itself. Like, we don't want no reparations. We want this place to be destroyed, but just to put it into a lower common denominator, why didn't we? We were slaves. We built this place. You know, they can be on the scene for a good 2 to 5 years, and they get reparations. What mass genocide or slaughter did they do to receive, you know, a huge consolation? All right. Grab the book of Romans. Romans 12 and 2. And it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh." So, law, statutes, commandments, the faith, the fear, that's what the works, that's what makes you acceptable and not being conformed to this world. You know, I was watching this, I believe it was a Gillette Fusion commercial. Okay, dude getting into an interview, and he looks around of all the past CEOs that was in in the that ran the company, and they were all bald, shaved, no beard, no mustache. They were just completely shaved. And I'm like, that's not our custom. And but you see the world, they want you to be lined up. They want you to be, you know, shaved. They're basically against what the scriptures tell you. Because, yeah, we can get haircuts, we can get trims, but we're not supposed to get lined up, put no razors to us, scalp ourselves. No. This is Leviticus 19 and verse 27. And it says, "Ye shall not round the corners of your head, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard." So, you know, lining yourself up, you know, that's that worldly thing. You know, when you go to a Jake, one thing they want to make sure they have with the end of their cut is like Elder Apostle Gabar say, a Krispy Kreme lineup. All right. We can read down verse 28, and it says, "Ye shall not make any cutting in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." And when you get into the word cutting, it was basically that verse is actually, it's like I'm gonna say verse is getting into incisions, getting into tattoos. But when you get a lineup that cuts you, when you put on like alcohol and stuff. Well, I said I used to do it when I was in the world, but you know, some people be getting into the barbershop and they put that alcohol, it stings because you basically cut your skin open. All right. So it's really going to be hard. It's not really, this place is not set up for righteousness and for us to prosper. Not only when Yahweh Shem Shai destroys this place, because this place goes against Yahweh Shem Shai. This place hates Yahweh Shem Shai. I was watching, I used to go to Specs Howard. It's a school that teach you behind the scenes and what the demographics of people like to hear, you know, when you're broadcasting. But one thing that was kind of crazy, they shy away for religious point of views, especially when it comes to the Bible. All right, and I was watching like little snippets. You might have like a 5 to 10 minute press conference interview on the news, but if you have like any like crosses or saying the man's name, that, you know, anything that's religious, they cut it out, they censor it. So they trying to censor out Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, so I'm gonna end it off on this one. This is John 15. And 8, when it says, "If the world hated you, you know that it hated me before it hated you." Because the Lord was already doing this. You know, that's why, you know, the prophets, the apostles, like, yo, when we gonna come with you? The Lord already did his service. Now it was our turn to do it now. The Lord already laid the foundation to salvation. Laid the foundation of salvation when he got beamed up. Now it's our time to go through the furnace to earnest. You know, he did his. Now it's our time, and we're slowly not getting into them days. You know, JT, the full implement of the MOTB, World War III, destruction of the missiles, man. But again, you know, separate yourself, be holy out there so you can be acceptable and worthy of salvation in Yahweh Shai. But Lord willing, I hope this video was edifying. And again, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. And again, double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstones, teaching truth and sincerity, and also who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm going to close out, say shalom. On to the next lesson.